Okay, can you hear me?
Take up the screen, and then there'll just be a few smaller pictures, thumbnails across the top. If you want to see everybody who's in the room, you just keep it on gallery view. It's really helpful when we're having the presentation to put it on speaker view so that you can really see like the PowerPoint and the speaker and all of that. The other thing is I'm going to ask everyone to mute unless they're actually speaking. That way we prevent any accidental background noise. There's a chat down at the bottom where you can leave your contact information for each other. You can chat to the whole group or just individuals. So that's a good thing to know right there. And then let's see, what else did I want to say? If you need to get a hold of anybody who's on the meeting who didn't quite get their information, just let me know and you can email me and I'll get it to you, or reach out to the chamber and the message will get to me and then I'll get it to you. Do you have any questions from anybody before we get started?
No.
All right. Well, did somebody start to say something? Sorry.
No, I just want to say no. I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. Great. Well, that sort of leads me into the next part of our little agenda here. So typically Mark Stanton, our president and CEO, would be doing kind of the initial welcome, but he got called away at a last minute meeting, so he's not going to be able to do it. So you're gonna have to listen to me a little bit longer. I apologize for that. But anyway, I would just like to say, I'd like to welcome any new people. I know that Bobby, I haven't seen you on a chamber call before, right?
No, this is my first time.
Okay, well, welcome. You're a guest of Penny's, right?
Yes, and we actually did join the chamber as of last month. So we're
nice. Welcome. What's your company?
Strategic Wealth Advisors of Arizona.
Okay. Very good. Awesome. And then who else is the first timer that I haven't seen before? I think Andrea, there you are.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank
Are you a new member or are you a visitor?
Yes, I'm a new member as well. I am part of the firm that Bobby's part of, so Strategic Advisors.
You guys are ganging up on us, I see. All right. And then, well, so welcome. We're happy to have you on this call and in the chamber in general. And then the other person that was your guest was Michael, right? Penny, Michael Kaiser. I see his name, but not his face.
And also Greg.
All right, well, welcome you two, even though we can't actually see you. And then I also want to point out that we have chamber staff on this call right now. We've got Angie Van Dyne. Angie, wave to us. She's our graphic designer and marketing person. So she's the one that makes all those cool things that you get emailed to you, and social media posts and newsletters and all of that stuff. So thank you, Angie. And then we have a couple ambassadors, chamber ambassadors on this call. We've got Lane Nesper and June Clyer. They're both chamber ambassadors, which mean, for those of you who are new, they are kind of the extra arm of the chamber. They help us a ton. They help us volunteer at events. They also reach out to new members. They do all sorts of cool stuff. So we love our ambassadors. We count on them a lot. If you need any information, they are also good go-tos. They know how it all works. So thank you so much for our ambassadors. And I don't think do we have any board members on the call this morning yet? I don't think we do we? Nope, no board members. All right, so I guess the next thing we'll do here is I'm going to introduce our host. It is Penny Sanders with Green Tech Roofing. Let me tell you a little bit about Penny for those of you who don't know Penny. She manages the Build 360 Labs, thus the logo on her shirt, right? And also performs the testing. When she isn't in the lab, she's inspecting roofs, writing estimates, and brainstorming with the owners on how to grow the business. She would like to invite you to sit back and take a tour with her of their fabulous lab. All right, Penny, you are on.
Thank you, Julie, for that fabulous introduction. I appreciate it. So this is the Build 360 Lab, and Bruns Construction owns the Build 360 Lab and Green Tech Roofing. They're a construction business that's been around since 1952. So they understand the importance of being well informed when making a big ticket investment, which can be a roof in this case. For sake of time today, I just have it set up. Everything is kind of together here. If anyone is interested in coming in and seeing the lab in person, let me know. The type of testing that we do is pull, puncture, abrasion, chemical testing, excessive heat, and weather testing. So why is that important? You don't think about your roof until you have a leak. You don't think about your roof until you have to do a full roof replacement. And when you're talking commercial, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. So first of all, I'm just going to touch briefly on preventative maintenance. It is so important to have somebody get up on your roof and clean it, clean up the debris, and then patch anything that has degraded over time. Get that done. If you own a building, hire somebody to do it, hire us, hire anybody, do it yourself. I've been on several roofs that if they would have maintained it over the last 12 years, they wouldn't be in the situation that they're in now, having to spend thousands of dollars with me. So real quick, a pull test. This is one example of a pull test with an underlayment. This goes under metal, tile, or shingles. It only took 61 pounds to pull it this far. And another example is ours. It took 450 pounds. So before you put tile on your roof, you might want to have a material down there that is very durable and sustainable. Another good example is I put ours in and another competitor's in 220 degrees for 24 hours, and theirs crumbled up, fell off of the fastener, and it's already very brittle. I don't know if you can hear this, but it's very brittle. So then what that means, when you're driving around on the interstate and you see all these tile roofs with all the tile stacked up on it, and a month goes by and you're like, wait a minute, I'm still noticing that. And you probably don't notice it because you're not a roofer. But what's happening is that underlayment is already starting to degrade, and a lot of people don't know it, but their warranty could be void by the time the roofer gets the tile put on the roof. So make sure you know that before you hire a roofer. A puncture test. You know that people are up on top of your roof with two-wheel carts walking around. They might have tools. They're dropping stuff. HVAC guys, I'm told John's guys ruin roofs all the time. So they're not gonna, I don't know that they're gonna go, oh my God, I just dropped this and I just damaged the roofing membrane, which looks like this. It's very thin. It's like a mouse pad. So if that gets damaged and no one tells anybody, then you've got a leak. I think I'm just about up on time. So thank you again for having me introduce the lab today. If anyone wants to come in and look at it, we designed it for new employees that we hire. We want our roofers to understand this testing. We want them to understand the importance of good, better, best. And if they're working with a really cheap product, how we can protect that product and still give the investor, the investor, the best roofing system they can at the cheapest price with the cheapest material. Let's take care of it just to make sure that they're all set. Penny Sanders with Green Tech Roofing. If you have any questions, I put my information in the chat.
Thank you, Penny. I think it's so interesting. So yesterday you were telling me like who your typical customers are, and you have kind of different people in different phases of the, like some of the time. Anyway, tell us who usually comes to you guys.
Okay, so architects, investors are the people that are going to be interested in the lab. They're going to be interested in durability and sustainability. I'm also Commissioner Sanders now for the environmental quality, environmental whatever, and sustainability program here in Arizona. So we're going to have folks in from the city looking at this. And then we have new employees going through testing. I can also sell my roofing products to other roofers because I have a private label on some of this. So I don't look at other roofers as a competitor per se, because we're so diverse that if we don't get that roofing project to actually put the roof on, my hopes would be that I could sell them a really good product that they're going to use and they'll put on the roof versus going, I shouldn't say that. So, yeah.
So do people, I'm sorry, I'm asking all the questions, you guys chime in too, but so do people who are like getting ready to put on a roof come to you and have you test the roofing material they're going to use? Or do people who are getting ready to, like you said yesterday, something about like commercial investors are going to buy a strip mall and it needs a new roof or something like that? So
yes, so what we can do is if, let's say a leasing agent reaches out to me or a commercial realtor reaches out to me and says, we're looking at working with this buyer to buy this building, or someone is selling it, then I go out and I can take a core sample. I basically core down into the roof, pull it out, and it looks like a wine cork, but a lot bigger. And it'll tell me the history of the roof. I do that in several different areas, analyze it, and then I can suggest a roofing system to them. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. Does anybody else have questions?
Wayne?
Well, I'm just,
Over here.
I do. I didn't even recognize you there with your new do. That looks great. Hey,
Okay.
yeah, I'm curious, because we do obviously a lot of flood and fire work. And speaking from post-fire, most roofs get a vent they vent a fire in the roof of a home or a building, and then they have to be put back together. Is that normally done in a patch, or is that normally done in a whole roof? And so if I've got some roofing people that are doing this for me, how do I get them in touch with you?
You call me.
Okay.
But yes,
Okay.
that would just be a patch job. And if you've got an HVAC unit that's being replaced and it's taken off the roof, and then the owner wants to make sure that that surface is sealed up tight before the new one comes in and gets put back down on, then we can patch that all up. Yes.
Cool. Okay. So in that transition of before you put either the tile or the shingles or whatever's going back on, you're basically an underlayment specialist, and then everything above that you can also do as well. But your secret weapon is this underlayment. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
More questions?
I've got one. This is
Sure.
Bobby.
Sure.
What experience do you have working on concrete tile roofs?
A concrete tile roof, we have all kinds of experience because we're also a concrete company.
And what are the most routine issues with concrete tile roofs?
You're cutting out. I'm sorry. Can you hand signal?
I said, what are the most routine issues, the most regular issues that come with the concrete tile roof?
That is for the concrete guys to answer. I'd hate to say something and you're just testing me to see if I answer it wrong. So the concrete is not my skill set, but if I were to guess, I would say the concrete's going to crack. It's going to move. So then you need to make sure that whatever you put on top of it allows that to move with the spacers and whatever else they put on top of the concrete.
So you're saying that this is also flexible, and so let me, I guess, ask the question: how much flexibility is there in a normal roof in Arizona between the hot and the cold? I mean,
It would depend on the roofing system, the structure of the building, the gravitational pull, what's going on with that, if it's a steel structure, if it's wood.
okay.
There's a
So
lot of variables there.
So, but they all flex, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they
so-
have to, or they would just crack right away.
Right.
Yes, they all have to flex.
Okay. So yours is more flexible than most? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of a yoga thing, it's more flexible.
I was going to comment about, well, Lane, it's about as much as you can put your leg over the top of your head. So.
And I won't go into that with any comment whatsoever. I'm not getting thrown off.
I heard you're pretty flexible, so.
I will bend over backwards for a customer, and that's as
That's
far
what
as
I've
it
been
goes.
told. So there
That's
you
it.
go.
That's
All
as
right.
far as it goes. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
I like that. Let me use that.
So Penny, one last thing, because you told me about it yesterday, you have like some oven that you put roofing material in, right? You bake it?
Yes, I have a oven that can also be used for pizza and cookies. But I have a house. And I have a weather chamber, which I can simulate weather conditions from all over the world. I put it in there, and let's just say, simply put, so Lane doesn't ask me any questions. Let's say I put it in there for 3 months. It could represent 25 years.
How hot does that oven get?
The regular oven,
Or the one you're talking about? The one you have?
the weather chamber, that would depend on what, how hot, I don't know. I don't know how hot. I have it set for Arizona, so it's at 170.
Okay, so you're not talking about like 500 to 1,000 degrees.
No, it's not like a, a burn chamber, which I am getting a burn chamber next month. So I look forward to catching some things on fire.
And I'm not coming over.
All right. Well, thank you, Penny. I think it's fascinating. One of the things I appreciate about our Zoom events, I mean, I miss everybody live and in person. Can't wait till we get back. But we've seen some really cool stuff that we couldn't otherwise have seen. Like when we did ServPro, when Lane hosted, and the pharmacy last week, we got the background in the Civic Center Pharmacy, and today in your lab. So I think we are learning some very cool stuff. And I just want to thank all the people who've hosted and invited us in and given us virtual tours and all that good stuff. So the next person I would like to introduce is John McComb. He is our annual title sponsor for Meet Your Neighbor for Lunch. He and Robin own AZ Perfect Comfort heating and cooling systems. And John, we would love to hear a few words from you about whether or not your techs stomp on people's roofs when they're up there. And anything else you want to tell us.
Well, Julie, they darn well better not be stomping on roofs. There's, process and procedures we follow to take care of the roofs. Commercial roofs are different than residential in some cases, and the flat roofs are flat roofs and there. But it was a great presentation by Penny. I certainly enjoyed it, and and like you said, Julia, it's good to see these businesses that otherwise we wouldn't have been able to see. It's really, really very interesting. But anyway, I'm John McCombs, AZ Perfect Comfort, commercial and residential heating, air conditioning. And yeah, I'm kind of bummed because temperatures are getting a little bit cooler, but I'm dealing with it. I'll work my way through it. What I will highlight today is on 1 October to 16 November, Trane is having their fall promotion, up to $600 rebate on new systems. So if you've been hoping and praying and wishing that your old system would survive the summer, now it's the time to save yourself not only some money, but also convenience. My schedule in the summer stinks, and you're going to have to go with my schedule in the summer. But in the fall, winter, and spring, I'm much more accommodating. We can do it at your convenience. So, this is the next thing is, if you don't have an old system, at least get it maintained and serviced. Preventive maintenance is so much cheaper than a repair. It also extends the life of the system and lowers your utility bill. With that, hey, John McCombs, AZ Perfect Comfort. Find the comfort you've been missing. Back to you, Julie.
Thank you, John. You're awesome. So this is sign language for applause. If anybody feels like applauding, John likes it when we applaud for him. So he is a fantastic title sponsor. We have appreciated him so much. And right on through all the craziness of COVID and the changes we've had to do, he's just been right there being one of our cheerleaders. So thank you, John and Robin and your whole company. And they take care of my air conditioning too. It's amazing. So big plug for John. Thank you. At this time, I see that Cherie is joining us. I thought I saw her signing in here. And she is the vice president of the Scottsdale Chamber. And it's perfect timing because I would love to give her the opportunity to introduce our speaker today. So Cherie, if you're ready, I'll turn the mic over to you. We got to get you to unmute. It looks like you're muted.
Well, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late in joining. I was on another call with a member, so I just wrapped that up. So Julie, we are at the point of introducing Nicole. Is that correct? Hi, Nicole. So great to see you. And Penny, I'm sorry I missed your tour, but I will have to get one here very soon.
You'll just have to come in and we'll have lunch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Nicole, I have your bio here, so I'm going to read that. But in addition to reading the bio, I just have to say that I just absolutely love Nicole and Harvest Compassion Centers And last year, when they were a Sterling Awards finalist, I had the opportunity to come in and tour the center and learn more about it and spend a little bit of time there. And it was absolutely amazing and very touching. And I am just amazed at all of the work you guys do. So I'm excited to hear your presentation today. But Nicole is the current co-founder and executive director of Harvest Compassion Centers, which were founded in 2011. 16 years ago in 2004, Nicole and her family founded Mitchell Swayback Charities in memory of the sudden loss of her brother Mitchell in a drowning accident. In 2011, Harvest Compassion Centers were opened as MSC's response to the US recession, with a mission to serve our local neighbors with life's necessities: food, hygiene, baby, and clothing items. Today, MSC fully funds and operates 3 HCC locations in North Phoenix and Scottsdale, West Phoenix, and Maryville, and launched a sister HCC location in Chandler in 2016. Before MSC and HCC were created, Nicole graduated from the University of South Carolina with a bachelor's in teaching and master's of liberal arts English. Nicole's love for sports, including volleyball, also led her to be a college coach in the years prior to her brother's passing. Today, Nicole and her husband, Paul, and 2 children, Elijah and Alexia, reside in Glendale, Arizona. And with that, Nicole, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Cherie. I feel very old when you like read a bio, like, I don't know. So good afternoon, everyone. Some people on the call I know I've met, so it's good to see your faces, and some are newbies, so nice to meet you. Nicole Thompson with Harvest Compassion, and I'm gonna attempt to share my screen so you guys can see my PowerPoint, and let me know if you can see that. Thumbs up. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to dive right into it. I do have one thing when I do Zoom presentations, now that we're learning how to do Zooms and keep everyone from going asleep. So I work really hard on my transitions on my slides. And I want you to go in the chat box and then give me a rating 1 to 10 on my transition. Not on my content, okay? I don't want any any feelings or, negative feedback. But go ahead and stay awake, and I want you to watch for those, all right? So Harvest Compassion Center, like Cherie said, we are run by Mitchell Swayback Charities, and that was a charity my parents and I launched in 2006. You can see photos of my brother on the screen. We were very young over there and a little bit older, and then my brother with some kids at an orphanage in Peru. My brother was a guy who just helped out everybody. He would meet you on the street and say, great, what are you doing? I'm in, we're helping people. Just so you know, I was not. I was the one that got to say, good luck, have fun. And I would go safely home and be very comfortable. So yes, my brother passed away in a drowning accident unexpectedly when he was 23. So that really rocked our world, of course. And my parents and I just wanted to continue the legacy that my brother would always just say yes. He would always just jump in and help. If he was remodeling your basement, if he was helping build a kid's orphanage, if he was just doing something really simple, acts of kindness. So we said, okay, we need to keep doing that in his memory. And fast forward to 2011, we went ahead and launched our first Harvest Compassion Center right on the border of Scottsdale and North Phoenix. And then now, like Cherie mentioned, now we actually have 4 locations in the Valley. And here is that first transition. All right, give me a rating. Make sure we're all awake still. Give me a 1 to 10. And what do we do at Harvest? So essentially, yes, we are a food bank and we are a clothing bank. However, I hate to give us that label. We say that just so you know kind of what we do with those 2 words. However, what we've done is created a one-stop shopping experience where we completely have changed the way food banking actually looks, feels, smells, everything about it. As I did my research 10 years ago, I wasn't really thrilled. I wasn't excited to go visit a food bank. It wasn't something that I really want to bring my kids to. I didn't feel uplifted when I left. Yes, I had a box of food, but it was not really a great experience. So we really created a model that included choice in their shopping, included dignity and who actually came in, which means everybody gets to come in and shop, no restrictions, and really just kept it simple. We wanted to create a mini mart, that a regular shopping store like we go to at Fry's or Walmart, and everything is price tag for free. We still give everything away free of charge. We wanted to create a clothing boutique where the clothing was just as good as Macy's and Nordstrom and any high-end department store, if not better. Because that is aligned with our dignity that we want to make sure that we have for our guests, and we're showing we call our clients our guests, and that we have for them every single day. So there's a couple of shots on the screen of a couple of our locations, and the food is our number one item that we're making sure we're going to hand out. Hygiene items, which is just as important as the food, so please know that. Baby items, clothing items, and we do some small home items as well. And then you'll notice on here, we do 2 special outreaches every year, back to school, and then we do Christmas as well. So Christmas toys, which is really exciting. And now you get to vote again. What do you think? I kind of like that transition. That's one of my top 3, just so you know. Give me a score, 1 to 10. We have a ton of different families, guests, clients that come see us. You see a couple pictures here of some folks that we've served, and from foster families to those that might not be documented, those who come up from Mexico, people out of states, those who are living in sober living homes, transitional homes. We aim to serve low-income families who are just not really quite making enough to make it. A lot of combined households, etc. So a couple of shots of our guests. That transition, not so crazy, but you can still give it a score if you want. So I really wanted to kind of talk about COVID today and let you guys know how has COVID affected someone like us who is a local food bank. I know it's affected everyone so differently, and that's something that I want to make sure that you guys all keep respecting, and that's what really taught us a lot. Every guest that comes in our center has a different story, completely different. I just kind of did a little graph here for you guys. March, we had a huge spike right when kind of COVID hit, right around that spring break time, right, for families. And we saw 50% brand new families coming in our door. So these are people who never needed food assistance, clothing assistance, social services. And we also saw, unfortunately, a 35% decrease. It was kind of like a deep dive of our volunteers, right? So we had volunteers who are elderly, high risk for COVID. We have volunteers who were under 18. We let kids come in, 5 and up. Well, we didn't want to let kids in. We want to make sure that we kept safe. And then, of course, we needed additional PPE equipment. I will let you know, we are so privileged. We never closed our doors. COVID hit, we opened the next day. We just figured out how to put masks on and everyone glove up. Thank you for the applause. We were really excited about that. We keep our centers beyond clean. You could honestly eat off the floor. I would do that. And that's our standard. We want to make sure we give that to every customer, client that's coming in, so they have that amazing experience of a place they want to actually visit. So that was really cool. Coming up around June-ish, we had actually a dip in families. So a dip in some of our clients coming out, and it was more of our regular clients we weren't seeing for some reason, and we did figure out why. We had unemployment assistance go up, right? All that federal assistance was great that they got that. We had a post-Memorial Day spike. So what did that do? We had this really big spike. The media's talking about it. So a lot of our regulars were really scared. There is a fear factor. They would not come out. They would not come see us or go out of their homes. Food channels completely clogged. Regular grocers, it's still hard to get food. You might not notice it as much as you do, but that is very much a real thing still. And then food prices went up, right? Everything just kind of rocketed up. And then we also have, we're feeding the masses. You see it on the news. Drive-throughs, 5,000 cars, one afternoon. How do we get these, drive-throughs gone, quickly, safely, effectively? So just really had to adapt to some new models. For us personally, we, even though we remained open, we did change a little bit of our shopping model, where we actually pre-bagged some items just until we could figure out the whole touching rules and what that actually was safe to do. And we actually did do some drive-throughs as well. Some veteran organizations came out, elderly mornings, so they were completely safe in their cars. And then we went to August, so kind of where we are right now, and everything is going back up again, just so you guys know. So now we're in September, it's still on that incline. Unemployment went down, right? That assistance went down now. Everything is opening back up. So the comfort level, families feel more comfortable coming out now. So that is actually a good thing for us because now we get to actually feed our regulars again. And unfortunately, a lot of the furloughs from jobs are now becoming permanent. So we hear stories every day about it was kind of questionable, and now they've made the decision to close their doors, which is really sad. Also, we've lost a ton of volunteers again. We kind of got hit again because of virtual school. So we've lost now a ton of just parents and grandparents who have to be teachers at home right now. We're hoping as schools open back up, we'll actually see that go back up again. And our food channels are still clogged, unfortunately, but I do want to say we have 0 cases at HCCs. All of our locations, not one volunteer or staff member has had a positive case since COVID hit. So we do pride ourselves, again, being super safe, but still doing our mission and feeding our community, okay? All right, transition, we didn't have one that time. So I had a new slide in here because I really want to let you guys understand how can we use COVID and something that's not going away, but how can you truly use that to impact your community, the families in Scottsdale, and also though help your company, right? Help your bottom line in some fashion, you know, whatever that looks like for you in your company. And we work with a lot of companies who come to us with the question is, how can we partner? So my first advice to you is to find a local nonprofit that you can partner with. So someone that, you know, fits either the owners, the management teams, mission work. So is it feeding local families like we do? Is it foster care? Is it animal rescue? Is it veteran services? We all work together, just so you know. So I'm going to be a cheerleader for every other nonprofit out there in our community, just as much as I am for us. We cannot do this without working together. So find who does your team want, and how do you find that out? Ask your team. Have a staff meeting. Do a quick little, a poll and survey, and say, do you know any nonprofits? Who are the other nonprofits in the chamber possibly? So start with who you know, use who you know, and then go visit a couple, right? See if it's something that you do agree with. You can actually get behind that, their mission and their messaging. So start small. Don't have to go to, the World Visions and the St. Mary's out there and these big national maybe organizations. We have a ton of nonprofits right here in our backyard. There's tons of us to pick from. After that, we're going to go ahead and create a plan for you guys. We want you to connect with a local nonprofit such as us, and we want to see what is a really seamless way for you to connect with them that is not a lot of work for you and your team and your staff. You might be a single business owner. Hey, Nicole, the staff is me, just me. When we opened Compassion 10 years ago, guess what? Just me. It was me trying to figure out how to feed our neighbors. And you can do that, one person. It could be very simple because nonprofits always have campaigns going on. We have events going on. Call whoever's in the, a leadership team of that nonprofit and just say, hey, I think I want to partner with you guys. I have no idea how to do that. What would be some good ways for me to go ahead and get involved? And just so you know, any of these partnerships do not need to cost you any money. There should be no money, like if someone says, oh, wonderful, donate to us and we'll get your logo on our pages, or we'll do this or that. This can be done for free. This is about us working with you guys as local business owners to really make an impact and make it a win-win for both of us. And then the last part of the plan is the partnership will take place. You'll commit to something, right? However big or small that is. And then you want to talk about it, post about it, do a flyer, your website, social media, just your word-to-word marketing, every phone call you make. You want to make sure you're talking about the impact that you guys are making with whoever that nonprofit is. This is free marketing. This is feel-good marketing. This is the marketing I look for every day because we don't have a big budget for marketing. So my price tag is always free. Us as the nonprofit wants to truly thank every partner. And one of our pillars is to be a good partner back. So how can we promote you guys by saying thank you publicly for your partnership? And then in turn, the local community is going to see that. More and more customers truly want to see companies and work with companies who are community focused and community minded. And I've seen an uptick on that the last 2 years, which is really encouraging, right? Because they want to do business with people who truly are caring about their local community and want to give back on some level. So that's just kind of a couple ways of my plan in about 4 minutes of how you could very, very easily partner with a local nonprofit to benefit your bottom line. And for us particularly, let me show you how that can look like. That was a very simple transition there. So see what you like about that. So again, we are a food bank. Here's some more photos of us shopping in our food banks and some of the kiddos that we get to serve. Half of our clients are children, and we're serving about 30,000, 35,000 individuals every year. So what's an easy way to partner with us? How about we host a food drive, right? It can be very simple. And not even just a food drive, go ahead and have a peanut butter and jelly drive. So be very specific, ask for 1 or 2 items. People do conditioner and shampoo drives. They'll do razors and shaving cream, they'll do tuna and tuna helper. So again, it's easy to remember. It's very simple. And if you collect 10 cans, great. You still were successful. That was 10 more than you did before, right? Your effort is there. We still want to thank you and work with you either way. What about a diaper drive? We love serving the babies that come on in. Let me just tell you, your heart will break and you will cry when you have a baby that comes in with a mom that you can smell their diaper and you know they need to be changed. And without them even coming to you, you offer them a diaper and say, there's the restroom, please go take care of that. And a lot of babies wear diapers for over 24 hours. That is not uncommon. And we know what happens to the babies when that's happening. So we want to make sure diapers, wipes, formula, clothing, that's taking the needs of these little guys. So diaper drives are always needed, not only for us, but for foster care, for group homes, for any pregnancy centers. Those are always a hot item, and that's a great option for you. Transition. What do you guys think? 1 to 10. Give me a number. Give me a number. I kind of like that one. Clothing. I mentioned our clothing boutiques. So, I see some good numbers there. So we need your gently used clothes. All of our clothing is donated. So we give out thousands of pounds of clothing every single month. And we cannot do it without amazing just neighbors who want to donate their clothes to someone like us who will not sell it. What we're gonna do, you can see in one of these pictures here, we're gonna launder it, we're gonna clean it, we're gonna scrub it, we're gonna iron it, we're gonna tag it. It's gonna look amazing. Even you might actually want to take it back and be like, wow, you got my shirt looking real good, Nicole. But we're not gonna let you because we're gonna find a home for it probably within 24 hours. The clothes come in, clothes go right out the door. So you start with your work team and say, hey, this is something that is so easy. My staff can clean their closets out and we're gonna go together and drop these off at Harvest Compassion. So again, it does not need to cost anybody any money. It's just some effort and some time. What about volunteering? So we have over 1,500 volunteers that come in and volunteer annually at all of our locations. We are now open 6 days a week from 9 to 11:30 in the morning. And so we can find, including the weekends, so we can usually find a time that's gonna work for you guys to come on in. We host work teams, big and small, all the time. Whether your staff is 1 or 2 or 20 or 30, we will find a way to get you guys in, work some of our shifts, and actually connect with local community members, right? The families that come on in, and you'll see we're masked up, we're very safe right now doing this, no touching, etc. And you're really bonding as a team, as a staff. And they have a lot of fun because you're interacting with community members, our guests that come in, but you also have some downtime to chat and to work together. And I'm all about teamwork. And everything we do, it's always based on how can we be stronger team members together. And then a lot of times the businesses that come in, they'll go to lunch afterwards. So we close at 11:30, they go host them for lunch, and then maybe even have some afternoon leadership training. So whatever you want to make that day be, you know, go ahead and do that. But it's a great way to get out of the office, especially now, right? Like COVID's here. I know some bigger corporations are blocking people to come out officially. So that means you can sign up on your own. You go to our website, you do the Get Involved tab, volunteer application. Under a minute, you're signed up. We'll email you and we'll see what your availability is on that. And we are letting kids come back ages 10 and up right now with a parent or guardian. So we love still having families come in and kids how to learn to use their hands and feet very, very early. All right, transition, here we go. Go ahead. What do you think? Give me something, give me something. While you're volunteering, a couple more photos of just what you can do. Shopping with clients, doing inventory, helping stock our shelves. If you don't want to be in front of face-to-face with the community members, I understand that as well. We have the back of the house, sorting the clothes, cleaning them, ironing, all those type of things that we need to make sure that our lobbies are good, our systems are good, and our place looks amazing. Or, like I said, go ahead and partner with a company or the nonprofit on their events. So this is our Run One, Feed One event. It's our virtual race that's actually happening this Saturday, October 3rd. If you go to teamhcc.org, you're going to find out all the information. We actually have about 3 or 4 business owners right now as part of our partners. And what you do, we make everything we do free. I'm not going to charge you a registration fee, $25, $50 for a virtual event that I'm not really sure how that's actually being worked out. So we keep it simple, okay? You sign up for free, you put your business logo on there, you create your team page for free, and then this is all a virtual fundraiser. So it's a peer-to-peer online. You share that page to all your social media platforms and by email, and then what you're doing is you're spreading awareness of the need COVID has brought to the Valley during, September right now, and that there's families that need to be fed and helped right now. So let's just say you don't even raise $1 for us. You still have reached your audience and your potential customers with the awareness of what's going on. You're being very timely, you are relevant to what's going on, and you're not just pushing your product out there or your service, you're taking a moment to pause and say, okay guys, we love you, here's what's going on. We took the time to learn about Harvest Compassion and we want to tell you about it right now. And again, that costs you nothing. And we are grateful for that, just so you know. We are extremely grateful for that, because then a couple might go ahead and jump on ours and say, okay, we want to be a part of this, and we want to link arms. Or maybe I live right next to one of your centers, Nicole. I didn't even know I lived there. This is so easy for me to do. And you were the catalyst to actually launch that relationship for us. So you're doing amazing connecting there, for us right there. All right, what do you think? That transition was my favorite. And also my daughter, who is 12. So we actually agreed on that one. So what do you think? 1 to 10. Type something in right there. Holiday time is coming up, guys. We do a big toy drive, Christmas for One. Last year, a couple of the kids right here who we served, we did over 10,000 toys last year, give away all the toys for free. We did not spend $1 on toys. My budget does not buy toys. It buys food and hygiene and formula and the things that are essentials. This is a special outreach that our community members kept asking for year after year after year. So there was a gap, and I realized there was a gap and said, we get toys donated anyways, right? And we have kids play corners, so we always want gently used toys and books because we give those out every day. We're open to kids, so it's a fun experience. What if we just start storing some of these brand new toys and give them out in December? I mean, again, simple, right? And then holiday time is a great way because everyone wants to do something kind of feel good. And it's an easy way to ask your customer base or potential customer base, hey, would you help us, this company, collect 50 toys, 20 toys? Again, one toy is one toy a kid will have. So not any amount is amazing. So always keep that in mind. Thanksgiving's coming up. We have some companies that donate turkeys to us. We don't particularly buy turkeys, but we'd love to have them. So we encourage others to go ahead and do a turkey drive. And we're able to get frozen turkeys, to families that can cook them themselves and really have that memory and that experience during the holiday time. So that's really an easy time to jump in with a local nonprofit for sure. You notice that transition there? I like that one. What do you think? Give me a score, 1 to 10. We also have a Kids Feeding Kids program. It's called Serving Sprouts. So if anybody is a parent or grandparent or an aunt or uncle or just even knows a child, you qualify. And we have a heart to make sure that kids, the next generation, really know how to give, how to serve, how to be community minded and focused and just aware of what's going on in their local community. Know that 1 in 4 kids are hungry. Know that 1 in 5 families are food insecure. Know that you can bring dinner to your neighbors tonight, and that could be a really cool blessing, and you know they might be struggling right now, right? So our kids program teaches kids just that. We don't shy away from kids and say maybe they can't handle this. No, guess what? Kids are hungry, and 5-year-olds and 4-year-olds come into our centers. We have a whole field trip experience, and we are very clear with them on, you've got another little girl who's 4 who's hungry. How can you help her? Can you share your lunch? Can you do this? Can you do that? Simple, tangible, age-appropriate action items that we believe if kids are doing it when they're 5, hopefully when they're 25, right? 35, 55, they just keep doing that too. So we enjoy our Sprouts program. Transition there, I love that one. And also we work with them on developing their entrepreneurship skills. So this kind of ties back into you guys as business owners, because what we want to do is we want to teach these guys to have their own business. And they have a lemonade stand. They sell things online, on different platforms. And people want to support kid businesses. Let me tell you, my children are part of this, and they have made a lot of money over the years selling homemade items because people want to support them. And then these kids are giving a portion of that back to feed other kids. So something that you can actually ask me more about, but a really cool way to make sure that the whole family always gets involved. All right, transition right here. All right, so like I said in those 3 steps, what do you do after you do link arms with a local nonprofit? You are going to talk about it. And let me just give you permission to do that. You can say, Nicole, she's the head of Harvest, and she said it was okay to kind of brag on our partnership. We want to brag on it just as much. It's kind of taboo out there. People are like, I don't know, we do give to them, but I mean, we don't want to like give and then like talk about it because that could be seen as bragging or insensitive. There's a right way to do it, let me tell you, and it's being done every day. And the big guys are doing it, so should the small guys and the medium guys. And we got photos of the kids that we're helping and we're serving. All the photos I'm sharing with you and that you see on our social media, they've all given permission. So we can show faces of, yes, we've helped these kids right here with some backpacks, etc. And then we can say, thank you, Scottsdale Chamber, for helping us serve these kiddos on whatever was going on. Because people want to hear about that. And I think right now, COVID has also really changed the community's mindset on doing something. We have never in 10 years had so much people jump onto our Amazon wish list and just mail us food through Amazon. We've had people just show up with carloads of food, of clothing, of whatever that might be. So people are listening today more than in the last 10 years from when I started 10 years ago. So that's something that as a business owner or leader, take advantage of that. That's something that you need to kind of jump on and say, hey, if the customer base is listening to the community, how do we make this work and how do we jump in it and be a true part of it with Harvest or somebody else right there. All right, that's one of my last transitions right there. So give me one more score, 1 to 10. Hopefully I don't get, 5s and 2s on everything, but I just want to say thank you, Cherie, Chamber, Julie, you guys are amazing. And let me just brag on you guys for a second. Like I'm just telling all you guys that bragging's okay. We have seen an increase in chamber members for this chamber, and we are part of 2 others, just so you know. This chamber is right up here. We've had a lot of increased traffic, dropping off donations, coming in for a tour, and then just surprising us. I thought it was going to be a tour and they have a carload and they have a couple friends with them. So you guys are doing a really good job chamber leadership, getting the word out about all of the nonprofits. And for down deep by my heart, thank you for doing that. Because again, we don't have the budget for that. We don't have all this time and resources. We are a small and mighty staff, and we have an army of volunteers. So it's been really, really awesome to see that happen in the last 3 months. On the screen, you see my website. You see our social media platforms. I beg you to go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, particularly, and like our page. We're trying to grow that reach right there, and follow us. You also have my name and my cell number. Please reach out anytime. There's no question that is not a good question. And whatever we can do to just lock arms, especially during COVID, when it's been the highest need in 10 years, this is the time to do it. So I know we have maybe a couple minutes for Q&A, but just thank you guys again.
My gosh, thank you, Nicole. That is amazing. And you know, I just have to say a couple of quick things, because prior to last year, I had no idea Harvest Compassion Center existed. And you've got your location at Thunderbird and 40th Street, which is almost in my backyard. And I used to take all of my donations to Goodwill, Salvation Army, and you know, I'll still spread that around. But now I bring probably at least 75% of my donations to you guys and drop them off, because I'm just absolutely so impressed with what you and your team do, the compassion that you show, and how respectful they are to each and every person that comes in, because everybody falls on hard times. And you wouldn't know that when you come in. Your team is just so helpful and friendly to them. And the fact that you do it all for free. And I'm not sure if I didn't catch this, but one of the big things that also impressed me that I learned is that you guys don't accept any government funding. So everything you do and everything that you have is through the volunteers and donations and all of that. So thank you very much for what you do for the community.
Thank you. And you know, and that's a big thing. If we would take government food right now, which if you don't know, that's Feeding America, which they do amazing work. You know, I'm not saying they are bad, they are amazing, but they do have restrictions on that. So I'd have to actually send guests away. If a guy walks in, now I have to qualify you as hungry. I don't know you, you're a stranger. You cannot see by looking at someone if they are hungry. And please remember that. We have had volunteers come in, getting community service hours, and I asked them to sanitize food for 2 days. And this guy hadn't eaten in 3 days. And he finally got enough courage to say, Nicole, can I have a granola bar? And I'm like, absolutely. And I was like, why are you so hungry? And then he finally admitted to us. So it was a gut check for me, because I'm supposed to know it. I'm supposed to see it. You can't see it. You can't see someone who's hungry. So please, if anything, it's a soft intro. Hey, here's Harvest's card or email. Hey, go bring your clothes there now. But you really might think they might have a need. And they'll come in, we'll give them a quick tour, 5 minutes, and they'll be like, hey, can I actually shop? And because we have no government funding your food, I can say, absolutely, come on in. And that's really what our heart's desire is. So thank you, Cherie. You do come very often. So I yell at you if you don't.
Thank you. And Penny.
Is there a limit on how much someone can take when they come in?
Yeah, so all of our guests come once every 30 days. So that's the most that you get to revisit. And then while you are a volunteer as a personal shopper in our mini mart, we shop side by side. So we have the personal shopper volunteer in front of the cart, we have a grocery cart, and then we have, you know, that guest shopping. So we have a good distance, and then everything is essentially one of everything. But yes, we have cereal, let's say. I don't want Penny taking 5 boxes of cereal, and then you're gonna go sell cereal on the street, right? We're misusing product then. So there are limits, and basically it's one of everything. Sometimes there's actually 2 or 3 based on our inventory that week. And then clothing is given out based on household size. So is there a single adult in the house? Are there 10 kids in the house? Is it a foster group home? And then we'll give out according to the numbers in the home. Again, making sure we're being very responsible. No one's selling the clothes, taking too much, you know, and
Are they allowed to try the clothes on? Can they try the clothes on when they're there?
No, we don't allow that because we always want to encourage no undressing in our centers. Let me just tell you, I have lots of nonprofit friends and there's a lot of trouble that comes with that.
Yeah.
So, but we do accept free exchanges, right? So
Okay.
bring
Well,
it back to us next time you come on in. We
yeah.
have a tag on it. We know it's ours and we're going to take your word for it anyways. And we're going to just give you an additional item then that you get to pick something else out. And that it does happen sometimes for sure. Definitely.
Great. I look forward to visiting you soon.
Thank you.
I'm
Go ahead,
super
June.
excited. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I just
I think
wanted to
June had one.
say, I had the opportunity to come in during COVID and meet with Nicole and tour her facility. And if you haven't done that yet, highly recommend it. I'm already talking to my team at Scottsdale Pro Travel International, and we want to do, once our office is back open, we want to do a drive and get out there and do some volunteering. So if you guys haven't been out there to see everything that they have to offer, it blew me away. Yeah.
Thank you, June.
Nice seeing you again, Nicole.
Yes, you too.
All right, Julie, back to you. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Cherie. That was perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Nicole. I am super excited to come and volunteer because the volunteers get to be personal shoppers. And shopping is something I've worked a lot at building my skills at. And so I'm sure it's like the perfect opportunity to volunteer. I get to shop. So anyway, I can't wait to get there myself. So thank you very much. Again, if you want to reach out to Nicole, please do that. Otherwise, if you need information to be able to find her, reach out to me and I'll make sure to get it to you. So awesome job. Thank you very much. And then I also want to thank Penny for being our host and showing us that amazing lab. In just a second here, we're going to have her do the door prize drawing for us. But before that, I'm going to tell you that the Chamber has some upcoming events. The next one is going to be Virtual PM Connect, which is the first Wednesday of the month. So that is October 7th, and that is going to be hosted by Industrious Co-working, which is this really fabulous office sharing space down in Fashion Square. So that will be PM Connect for October. Then we have Know Your Chamber, which is our new member orientation in October. We're doing that every other month, and that'll be Wednesday the 14th from 11:30 to 12:30. So if you're new members, if you know somebody who's a new member, please encourage them to come. They get to meet the team and get an explanation of what our events are and our programs and just all sorts of good things about the Chamber. And you register for that, just like the other stuff through your Evite or on our website. Then our next AM Connect, which is our morning networking event, is the third Thursday of every month. And that will be October 15th. And that one's hosted by Trevec. Trevec won a Sterling Award last year. They're a company that does remodeling, but now they also just purchased a roofing company, which Penny and I talked about yesterday. And they have a couple other things they've diversified into. They have a really cool handyman truck thing that they do now. We're going to get to see a tour of their handyman truck. So I'm excited about that. And that is the 15th of October at 8 a.m. Then we have our next Meet Your Neighbor, Teach Your Neighbor, the last Friday of October, which is the 30th, day before Halloween. And it is going to be the second part of Marketing in Uncertain Times by Laura Jones of Be a Legend. She is also one of our ambassadors, and she has a fabulous all full-service marketing company. And so she's going to share the second half of her presentation with you. And I think that about covers everything for our upcoming events. Cherie, is there anyone you want to add to that? I didn't know. Is there anything you want to add to that for events? Are you good?
All good. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right then. So door prizes. Penny, tell us what you as the host is offering for a couple door prizes here.
I have two $25 Visa cards that you can donate to any nonprofit organization of your choice.
Yay. All right. So pick a number between 1 and 12.
7.
That would be June Clyer, number 7. You're the first winner. Yay.
You know where my money's going. Caution, please.
Perfect. All right, one more. One more number.
Oh, sorry, 3.
That's Nicole. Nicole, you won the door prize. Yay, thank you.
So I'll come see you and give you the gift cards.
There we go.
It was meant to be, Penny. That's awesome. Thank you, June.
Thank you all for being here. This is about wraps it up. I think we might be at, oh, we're just right on time. So it was nice to meet all the newcomers and see our friendly regular faces. And we'll be looking for you at PM Connect just a week away. Bye. Thank you. Have a
And thank you
wonderful
again,
week.
John.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Absolutely.
Way to go, John. Good to see you, Aaron. Good to see you, June.
You guys.
Penny, everybody be good. So nice to see you all.
You
Thank
too.
you all.
You
You
too,
too.
Lane. Take care. Thank you, Nicole.
great
That was
weekend.
amazing.
Awesome job.
Nice to meet you new ones. Bobby, thank you.
Take care. We'll see you soon.
See you